Hi, this is Neil reporting for the Conscious Resistance Network. I'm here with Ken Bettencourt. He is riding around the country promoting, well, it's better that you tell us.
Okay. So, I'm riding for Heroes and Angels Corporation. We are a nonprofit childhood cancer organization. So, I started in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, my hometown, and I cycled all the way to Vancouver, Canada, down to Ventura, and now off to Key West, Florida. By the time I get done, I will have cycled over 13,000 miles and hope to have raised $13,000. To date, I'm at about $2,900. And what I'm promoting is childhood awareness. We only get for the children 4% of the federal government money. And us at Heroes and Angels, we want the kids to grow old. And there's lots of alternative methods that we could use to help these children with the pain, but our local governments say no. So I'm out here, I talk to as many people as possible, get interviewed, like with Neil here, as much as I possibly can. And so far I've had a great response.
Excellent, excellent. The first thing I want to ask you is who and what made you start doing this?
Well, I'm a sarcoma brain cancer survivor. So when I was going through treatments, I had a couple different organizations help me out. Little finances, but a lot of moral support. And so this is what I want to promote for the children. If you've never been through a pediatric ward of children with cancer, you've just, you leave there bumbling creek of tears. It's amazing on what these little kids go through. They always have a smile on their face. So I decided when I wanted to take a bike ride, because I'm a cyclist, that I would promote childhood cancer.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Now, where do you plan on taking this endeavor if you reach your goals?
Well, we plan on going nationwide. Right now, we're working with a couple other organizations. Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. They're the largest childhood cancer organization there is in the world. They have raised $150 million in the last 17 years. So with them, we get families that need plane tickets, motel lodging, food, sometimes help with their utility bills. So this is what we want to do. We want to help the families, non-medical. There's a lot of organizations out there that help with medical expenses, but there's only 2 others in the nation that help with non-medical. And to date, there is over 30 million children with cancer just here in the United States. Worldwide, there's about 1.5 billion. And the kids they're just dying daily. And I'm 55 and I've beaten cancer. So now it's my mission in life to help them on however I can. It's my calling. Every day is a struggle for me because I have a few side effects. Like today with the heat of 105, my legs are cramping up. I've stopped sweating, dehydration. But I'm not a quitter. So I'm out here doing my thing, and I have a network of people that promote the organization Heroes and Angels. And
go ahead and give us some of those people that help you out.
Yeah, Jack Bernard is the president of the company. Brandy Boyle is the vice president along with me, and I'm the founder of the organization. Heroes and Angels has always been my thing. When I do a bike ride, I ride every day in the name of a child. So I call it Heroes and Angels, making miles for children.
Awesome. Who's you riding for today?
Today is a little boy named Brandon. We just lost him last night. He suffered for over 2.5 years, and the poor family flew all over the country trying to get treatments. He had T-cells. And T-cells leukemia is one of the nastiest cancers there are in this world. It eats every organ in your body. And the parents mortgaged their house, they sold their business to try to get alternative, and they just get drugs. Sometimes it's not the drugs that they need. But because the FDA and a few other organizations don't believe in alternative medicines, we're losing children daily.
So it's safe to say that your goal is to take off the financial burden that happens to a lot of the people underneath
Right.
the current status of the big business of cancer
Exactly. Because, a lot of these families, they have great medical insurance, but they don't cover the plane tickets or the lodging, because a child could be sick here in 29 Palms and their doctor is in Philadelphia. There's only 10 facilities in the United States that handle children's cancer. So most likely they fly every week. And, there's just no financial help. We're trying to get a couple different airlines to donate airplane tickets. Right now we have an appointment with American Airlines in New York City next week. So Jack is flying to New York and sitting down with these people, and hopefully they can donate, because big corporations for us, because we're nonprofit, it's a write-off for them. But not only that it's a write-off, it's the good thing to do. Like I said, I want these kids to grow old. I would give my life 100 times for these children. But it just seems every time you get somewhere to a point to where you think that there's going to be a change, it's not. Like September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And I see a lot of people promoting it, but I'd like to see more. So that's what my sign is out there on my bike, is promoting it.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about things like forced options, as far as the state intervening in what some people are choosing to do as opposed to the traditional treatments?
Well, I think it should be the parent's choice. I don't think the state should intervene. Like we talked earlier about the mother in New Jersey. She wanted to use alternative medicines. The state called CPS. Well, actually, the doctor called CPS. The state came in, took her 3 children away, and threw her in jail for 6 months because she was trying to save her daughter's life. That's wrong. This is supposed to be a free nation. And we need to get back to basics. We need to start taking care of each other.
Speaking of the basics, what would you say is the best alternative route that we as individuals can take that's viable in the world of regulations and bureaucratic laws and red tape?
Leave the United States. Go to another country for treatments, because other countries are using alternative medicines. The UK is now using cannabis oil. They just passed it. It's not lethal to the children, but what it's doing is slowing down the tumors to where conventional medicine can work. The problem is by the time they get to a child, the tumors or the blood disorder or whatever kind of leukemia they have has already advanced. So, all they're doing is giving them conventional drugs. The UK, Germany, Portugal, they're all using cannabis. So, and it's working. Their survival rate is 60%. Compared to ours is 4%. 4% of the children only live. That's a crying shame.
That's a shame.
It is. In a free nation and the largest nation in the world that we can't get past this, because it's a money thing. And when a family is traveling and they get into a jam and they go to the local government and they say, "I'm sorry, we don't have no funds." That's wrong. It's just wrong. So
do you think the taxation system has a lot to do with it? Because if people were able to give to causes voluntarily and not have to support what you would like to support, as opposed to supporting programs that don't really help individuals and go off to making people rich, so to say.
Right.
What do you think are the solutions and viable options that we have that are existing right now that we can kind of give the system the finger? Like, what do you think is the best thing we can do?
Well, is to donate to organizations like Heroes and Angels or Max Cure or Alex's Lemonade Stand. There's hundreds of them out there that, instead of giving your money to an organization that's going to get rich, give it to an organization that is giving back into the community. And that's I donate 30% of my living every year. And
your time. Time is money.
And my time. Right now, I've been on the road a little over 7 months, and it's costing me every month, because none of the donations that I collect support me. It all goes to Heroes and Angels, and so I'm giving back, and I take time to talk with Neil here, and 43 other newspapers and TV stations. So I'm hoping the word gets out. And there's a lot of people out there like me that do fundraisers. So if we just it takes all of us. So we just got to keep pushing.
Excellent.
And hopefully one of these days there'll be a change. But it's not too soon. It needs to be now.
Yeah, definitely. I hope we get out of the whole hope thing into reality thing. We really need to. And a lot of people within the network that follows us are working on those options and innovating new systems and like I said, counterculture systems, counter-economic systems, to being a competitive option amongst the mainstream. Because, okay, say you decide to opt out of the current centralized banking systems. Okay, but you don't use that money. You can't go to you can't pay your hospital bill in Bitcoin.
Right.
You can't pay your hospital bill by barter and trade. You know what I mean? And
right.
I think the more these countercultures develop, the more people get involved, the more there's doctors and lawyers and people that will take these forms of currency as treatment. Because, it's really sad that we have a system where we fought a revolutionary war in this country over a 3% tax on our tea.
Yeah.
And when you add in everything, all the sales tax, property tax, gas tax, federal income tax, state taxes, medical taxes, they take up to 70% of your entire income now.
I know. Oh,
you know what I mean? And we ain't even, raising an eyebrow to this kind of stuff. Yeah, the public's completely asleep. But just to show the comparison, 3% tax on tea causes us to have a revolutionary war.
Right.
And here we go, 70% of our entire income's being taken, and we're just sitting here hoping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
we need reality.
Yeah, definitely.
We need the reality. And we're slowly coming around, but it's going to take a little while. It's going to take more and more people like us to open the eyes of the big businesses. I would like to fire everyone, politicians that we have, and start off fresh. But we know that won't happen.
Well, we believe at the Conscious Resistance that there's no such thing as an involuntary action, and that you own yourself and nobody claims authority over ownership of yourself.
I agree with that.
And, it's not the way we live, because everything we have to do, you have to get a permit to build a house. You have to get a permit to fish, to forage, to have a swimming pool, to
survive,
to do anything.
Yeah.
You have to ask for permission. So my main goal as an activist is to raise awareness that people have lost connection with the core values of this country, as far as liberty, and it's dating back further than this country, common law and natural rights. We're born with these things. And you got government that is just growing out of control and trying to control every aspect of our lives. It's even coming down to where they're dictating how we can treat ourselves and so forth. You know what I mean? Like you were mentioning that you can't get a license because you have a seizure disorder. And I was telling you about my wife, how she was diagnosed with a seizure disorder, but they false diagnosed her, took away her license. After a long legal battle, we finally proved that she was having mini strokes, and they couldn't categorize it in the category to take away her license. So we finally got it back. But, to follow that through, if you are taking seizure medications and things that are detrimental to your health in other ways, pretty much poison. And you can't have an alternate option. You can't take a natural cure, the Garrison treatment, or CBD oil or something like that. They won't give you your license back unless you take the mainstream medicine and stuff like that,
which destroys your liver.
Right.
So in 5 years, I would be on a liver donors list, and so I don't take the anti-seizure medicine. I had to quit my job and go on disability. And
That beats the right to travel, right?
oh yeah, yeah, So
But you push on, man.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got on a bike and you
Oh,
kept
yeah, oh,
going,
yeah. Yeah,
And that's what I like about what you're doing, because you showed people that when you hit a road, when you hit a hurdle, you just take an alternate route and keep going.
Oh yeah, yeah. The road doesn't end. You just find a different road. They told me I couldn't drive, and I thought, what am I going to do? How am I going to get by? So I ride a bicycle at home. I ride a bike all over town. I do my shopping, my laundry. I go visit my friends, and it's been 8 years. And now when I get home, I will lose my left eye because I'm blind in my left eye. And because of the treatments that I did take for the sarcoma, it destroyed all the eye nerves. And that's my choice. They could take it out and not have a glass eye, but I'd like to have an eyeball in there.
Do you have an email address we can reach you at, or any kind of communication where people that might be watching this might have, a close friend or someone who does research that would be able to help you avoid taking any of your body parts away?
Yeah. They can go to 3bettencourt@gmail.com, or they can go to heroesandangelscorporation.org, or they can go to my Facebook page, Ken's 10,000 Miles for Childhood Cancer.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So add those pages and follow his progress, and send them information if you guys know, if you guys have any additions to the information that he's trying to give, or if you have something to suggest to him that he's not aware of, then let's communicate and let's get everybody working together, and let's congratulate him for his efforts in raising money and helping people ease their despair, the theft. In a way, it's by definition it's theft. I did mention that I'm directing a movie called Liberty. And I've been going around and asking people what liberty is to them. You mind telling me what liberty is to you?
Freedom. One word, freedom. It just explains everything. With the freedom that you can have, you have liberty, freedom. You get to make up your own mind. You get to choose your own destination. So freedom. That would be my word for liberty, is pure freedom.
Well, he's exercising his liberties and freedom, absolutely. So follow him, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I took more drugs than you could ever carry, I can promise you. And all kinds, you name it. I took every psychedelic, K, marijuana, every mushroom, peyote button, snack. I was